Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar on Ask Me MCP, the intelligence orchestration layer for modern decision making. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining from. I'm Himanshi, and I have been with Lumenore for almost 3 years and with 10 plus years of overall experience in analytics and BI. I'm currently handling Agentic AI modules such as Lumenore Ask Me MCP as the product manager. So moving to the agenda itself. So first we will start with what is MCP, how you can use it. Secondly, how MCP adds value to the business users such as yourself. Thirdly, we will cover key capabilities that are enabled through Ask Me MCP. Then we will delve right into the product demo, where we will showcase all the Ask Me with the MCP capabilities that we have brought in. Uh, Next, we will give you a quick glimpse of the upcoming features that we are bringing in the product. And finally, if time permits, we'll have certain question answers. All right. So let me first move to what is MCP, right? So MCP is nothing but it is called the model context protocol, and it is an open standard that works like a universal adapter for all the AI systems, right? So today, without MCP, like every model or assistant, it needs certain separate custom integrations where where they need to connect with tools such as Slack, GitHub, Salesforce, or Google Drive, right? So this can create a lot of complexity and duplication. Whereas with MCP, the connection layer becomes standardized. So AI applications can connect to business tools and data sources through one common protocol, that is the MCP. For Ask Me, this means that we can securely connect to the right tools, context, and data around a user's question. Right? So allowing the system to go beyond the basic answers and support deeper reasoning, richer insights, and more actionable recommendations. Right? So it is an open standard that was created by Anthropic and adopted by all the big players in the market. Then it is just you have to build it once and you can connect it anywhere. And it comes enterprise ready because it supports all the security and audit logging with it. So if you have any questions, just keep putting in the chat and my team will get back to you. So the next slide, we want to focus on how this MCP can add value to your day-to-day business workflow, right? So as we can see on the left, before MCP, AI worked more like a separate assistant, which is sitting outside of your business workflow, right? So it was able to answer questions, maybe summarize base content, or help generate ideas, but the user had to collect all the different contexts manually, right? So if they needed information from the CRM documents, the CRM systems, documents, tickets, or even databases, you have to move across all these different systems. You have to copy the information, you have to compare different outputs, and then you have to decide like what action to take. So even though AI was helpful, it was not connected to the real business environment where all the decisions and actions are happening. So now with MCP, that experience changes, right? So AI can now connect to all these approved business tools and data sources through a governed and standard layer, which is the MCP, right? So what this means for you as a user is you can ask one business question and AI can use the right context from the right connected systems. It can analyze the information for you and help actionize the work forward. So instead of giving just a generic answer, it can now support real business talks, such as finding relevant information, creating the task, or triggering even the approved actions, right? So the value of MCP is that it turns that AI from a standalone chat window into a connected business assistant that can understand context and help users complete the work faster. Right? So that is how MCP helps in the day-to-day workflow. Now, for the next slide, what we did is we did a research and identified what are the key gaps that were there in the native tools that were operating without the MCP, right? And we have tried to fulfill those sort of gaps with the Ask Me and with the MCP capabilities enabled in it, right? So I'll cover each of the gaps one by one. So the first gap, as I already mentioned, was you have to look at multiple disconnected systems and manually connect the dots, right? Whether it be dashboards, CRM documents, etc. But with Ask Me, we can bring all of these documents into one AI assisted experience so that user can work through the connected business context instead of jumping between the tools, right? Now, the second gap is that many conversational BI tools still work on one question, one chart model, right? So, wherein the user asks a question, gets an answer, and the user has to keep asking the follow-up questions in order to go deeper, right? But with Ask Me MCP, the user can ask multiple business questions and system can use approved business context from the connected apps and data sources to reason through the analysis and give you a unified insight, right? Unified response at the one single place. The third one being maybe in some tools there can be limitations around the root cause analysis, wherein a lot of manual investigation and drill downs are required, right? So you as the user might know that okay, some KPI dropped, but you have to break it down by say certain regions, category, customer segments, channels to understand what is the actual driver. Now, but with Ask Me, we are giving all of the contributors right upfront to you, right? So RCA becomes more flexible and automated, and then you also get the insights and recommendations attached with it. Now, the fourth gap is that NLQ might be limited to the chat screen of a BI tool, right? So it can answer questions inside the analytics product, but is not able to connect easily with other enterprise tools or AI clients. But with MCP, AskMe can connect to such MCP compatible AI clients and enterprise tools, making the analytics experience more open and connected, right? Moving on to the next gap, which is you might have also observed that you have a lot of PDF or Word files just lying there, right? But what if you want to do a unified analytics wherein you want to compare some things from the structured document with the unstructured documents, right? So you have to collect and analyze these database metrics in one place and one area. But with Ask Me MCP, we can actually do that, right? So you can bring all your structured files and unstructured files into one single data pool, and you'll be able to compare and analyze and finally generate the unified insights from both of them. Right? Moving on to the next gap, that is the user cannot compare the internal business performance with external intelligence in the same question, right? For example, you may know that, okay, sales dropped internally, but you still need to go and check the market trends separately. But with Ask Me MCP, all this sort of internal data and external intelligence can come together in one experience, giving users a better business response. Now, moving on to the final gap, which is the users cannot easily move from insight to action, right? So actions like maybe creating alerts, scheduling follow-ups, drafting responses, or maybe sending output to Teams or Outlook. So usually it happens outside of the analytics flow. But with Ask Me, AI can suggest or perform all these approved actions, helping users move from answer to action in the same experience. So we are bringing this feasibility soon, and you'll be able to connect to tools like, say, Jira, Notion, Slack, Microsoft Teams, Gmail, Figma, Outlook, Asana, Linear, Salesforce, HubSpot, even Apollo, Freshdesk, Fresh Service, Webhooks, Atlassian, or Confluence, etc. Right? So post this, once we have understood, okay, what are the capabilities that are enabled, we can actually move to the product demo. Right? So in today's demo, I want you to observe three things. Right? So the first being that how Ask Me understands the intent, whereas the user does not need to write any SQL or any code, or even know which chart to create. Just have to put your questions, and the Ask Me will understand the intent, the chart, and everything, and give you the final responses with insights. Similarly, the second is Ask Me reasons through the multiple steps, right? So you can ask multiple questions at once, and instead of stopping at just one answer, it moves into diagnostics, explanations, and combining all of those multiple answers into one single response. Thirdly, it will convert the analysis into a business ready response. That means you will have all the visuals, narratives, all the evidences, even the recommended next steps in one place, right? So with that, I think we can move on to the product demo and see how Ask Me with MCP can help a business user move from simple question to a decision support experience. So let me move to the product itself. All right. So this is our Ask Me screen, right? So this is the Ask Me module. So on the left, you will be able to see all the different analysis. And at the bottom, you will be able to see the query box, which is very similar to all the AI assistants you see today, right? So you can ask multiple questions here and get a combined response at once. You can switch LLMs, right? So here we have a variety of LLMs available. So you'll be able to switch these LLMs and based on the question that you are asking. And you can also save and share the different cards as per your need, right? So you can share it with your colleagues, right? And then finally, you can add some training as well, wherein you can train the Ask Me so that it is able to provide you better answers over time. All right. So before I start the demo, I will select the schema that I need to analyze on today. So this schema we are using consists of various agents, managers, supervisors, performance of selling a car device for my different car makes and models, right? So there is a set save rate goal and a conversion goal. And the actual performance of these agents, supervisors, and managers are actually measured against the set goals. Then the bottom performing agents, managers, supervisors, location are investigated to see how different sales performance can be improved across these. Right. So there are two major metrics, which is the retention rate and the achievement rate that we will focus on today. Right. So retention is how well you are able to retain the existing customers, and achievement rate is how well you are able to get the new customers to sell the product. Right. So let me start by asking the first question. So here, the capability I want to focus on is how I can ask multiple questions and get one response quickly, right? So I have typed in a big question just to save time. I've just copy paste. So I have asked, okay, which are my bottom three managers named by different retention rates, and also give me bottom three supervisors, right? So what I've tried to ask is multiple questions into this one particular question, right? So which are the bottom three manager names by retention rate? Also give me bottom three supervisor names. Also give me the bottom five agents under these bottom three managers, right? So I'm running a complex subquery type question here, right? So it has given me the lowest retention rate. So I've asked this question, what are the bottom three manager names by retention rate? I've also asked, give me bottom three supervisors. And I've also asked that give the bottom five agents under the bottom three managers by retention rate, right? So this is a subquery type question that I've asked. So it has given me the lowest retention rate by managers. So I can see, okay, Bellamy Frost and Prescott Dale have lower retention rates, right? It has given me the lowest achievement rates by supervisor, which are 000. Hence, we cannot see any data here. And then it has given me the bottom performers and the bottom agents under each of the managers as well. Right? So I can see under Prescott Dale, the bottom performing agent was Orion Blackwood. And under Harlow, it was Evander, right? With this much of the retention rate. So these sort of complex questions can also be created easily with the Ask Me MCP, right? The next capability I want to showcase is, as I mentioned earlier in one of the slides, that you often do not get the unified intelligence, which is from the internal data and from the market intelligence, right? So I will show you one question where I will try to combine these two and get a unified response into the Ask Me MCP, right? So my question is here is, okay, what is the conversion rate by different make, which is the car models? And also show me the different retention rates, right? Now, another question I've asked is compare these sales performance with whatever are the latest market shares and tell me which needs attention first, right? So I'm asking a question where I'm trying to get some market intelligence data and also asking for certain recommendations, right? I've also asked that give me certain industry benchmarks for these rates, right? So let's see what we have. So we have certain key numbers that we have in our data, and it is compared whether it is above the benchmarks or below the benchmarks, right? So here we can understand how well we are doing as per the industry benchmarks. So it has showed me all the industry benchmarks as well, and it has given me a conversion and achievement rate chart as well to understand where I am standing currently across these different makes, right? So once we have this sort of a data, we also have what is driving the high benchmarks, the low benchmarks, which are the market share leaders, and how are we performing against the industry benchmarks for these two, Toyota and Volkswagen, right? And Suzuki is the only make in your data that is beating both the industry conversion and the retention benchmarks, right? So here I get all these comparison insights as well within the data itself, right? So these kind of analysis can be performed since we have the MCP, and it can connect to multiple agents and tools in the backend at once, and you are able to get one unified response, one comparison response along with the insights together in one piece, right? So in the interest of time, let me also show you certain other types of analysis that can be easily performed through the Ask Me MCP. Right. So let me just scroll up quickly. The next sort of analysis that I want to focus is the trend analysis, where I want to run multiple trends and also understand why my certain trends are going down, right? So these sort of analysis where I'm asking follow-up questions and also the why type questions is something I want to showcase through these particular two questions, right? So let me just go to the top. So in the interest of time, I've already run the questions, and I can just demo it to you right now. All right. So the first question that I want to understand is I want to investigate how my conversion rate and how my retention rate is moving across time, right? So I've asked how is the conversion rate trended across time versus how is the retention rate trended across the time. So it has given me all the important insights or the key highlights of the peaks and troughs at the top itself. And it has also run a trend analysis where I can see, okay, this is my overall trend. I can see the data summary from here, what has been taken, right? So achievement rate. So I have an overall 2% increase in the achievement rates. Similarly, it has given me the retention achievement rates as well, and I can see there is an overall decline of minus 14% in the retention rates. Now, in the next question, I really want to investigate why I'm having such drops across the retention rates. So that is what I have asked here. So let me zoom in a bit. Right? So as you can see, I've asked this question, why is the retention rate trend going down? And run focused analysis across the make, supervisor, manager, location. What is contributing to the downward trend over these months, right? So it has given me a focused root cause analysis of why retention rate is going down, and it will give me all the bottom contributors, right? So it has given me the bottom contributors by different car makes, which is Pagani and Porsche. It has given me the chart also to support that. It has given me the supervisor names, that is, Maddox is having considerably low retention rate and Elohim, and a chart to support that. Moving on to the trends over time, where we are seeing the troughs and the peaks across the time, right? And all the different insights. So it has given me the downward trend is mainly driven by underperformers, that is Pagani, Porsche, and by supervisors, that is Maddox, right? So all these recommendations I can also get that provide targeted coaching or support to supervisors with consistently low achievement rates, especially the Maddox Finland. So I get all of these into one particular visual, right? So I have the supporting charts, insight, recommendations, everything into one. Now, the next type of question is where I want to focus on the deeper analysis, right? So what I want to actually understand is which location has the largest gap between the actual conversions and the conversion goal. So here I want to compare the actuals with the goals. So I can have that sort of a quick comparison. and I am getting a chart as well that this is the actual, this was the goal, and this is the gap. And the bottom performers being Florida has the largest negative gap, which is falling short by minus 3.22%. And Colorado leads in exceeding its goal, while Florida is underperforming most relative to its goal. So I have gotten the key observations. The next question is again one more deeper analysis where I want to understand two dimensions at once, right? So I want to understand that how is my conversion rate comparing across different location and also across different months. So I'm looking for an advanced trend, which is run for each of the location. And then it gives me the maximum trend and the minimum trend, right? So there are multiple trend analysis happening across each of the location. So it has given me the insights. Okay, the Alaska has the strong upward trend. Florida is mostly flat. Colorado is downward trend, right? And it has given me a sophisticated trend analysis chart where I can see the maximum trend is for Alaska. That is 25%. That is good signal for us, and the minimum trend is for Colorado, which is minus 14%. So we need to investigate more into this, right? So I'll skip this particular, the next question. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can just put it in the chat and my team will get back to you. So the next one being compared save rate between Porsche and Pagani, and which had more months exceeding their save rate goal. So this is another advanced analysis that I'm trying to run, right? So there is a lot of internal calculations involved. So first, I will filter for the Porsche and Pagani. I will compare the save rate against the save rate goal. And then for each month, I will mark whether the goal was exceeded or not, right? And then whichever month has the goal exceeded, I will show that as, okay, these months have exceeded the goal. So all this analysis, these sort of complex analysis are already done by AI and the MCP in the backend, and it is showing you the final answers, right? So total months exceeding the goals for 7 out of 16 have 16 months of data for push, right? And which were the months? So these were like Feb, March, July, December, Feb, 2026, and so on. Right? Similarly, Pagani only had 3 out of 16 months, which they actually exceeded the goal, right? So which is October, November, and December. So this clearly shows that Pagani has more months where they have exceeded their goals, and this suggests that it is consistently outperforming, Pagani. So that's how you can get all these insights, all these deeper complex insights also into one. The next question is again a complex one, wherein I want to compare all the different managers and their performances between the Porsche and Pagani branch, right? So how are they selling against the Porsche and the Pagani models? So I can see who are the consistent underperformers, like managers like Bellamy Frost, John Doe, often had months below 100 and either save rate to goal rate, in which they were not meeting their expectations or the goals, right? It has also suggested that what can be the improvement areas. So all these insights it is bringing from the market intelligence. Similarly, it has shown the consistent underperformers for the Pagani model as well, which is Prescott Dale, Harlow, Vance, and it has shown the improvement areas as well, that you can focused coaching and process review for these managers with the repeated tips, right? So these sort of insights are already generated for you with the supporting charts such as these, right? So you can easily do such deeper analysis through the Ask Me MCP. Now, the last question I want to actually move towards is suppose imagine one scenario wherein you want to understand and give a quick leadership summary, right? So you have a meeting and you want to run all of these that you have run above quickly, where you need to understand about retention rates, conversion rates across all the supervisors, managers, locations, OEMs, right? So you can just put a question within Ask Me that, okay, give me the performance summary which I can send to leadership. Consider retention rate, conversion rate across supervisor, manager, location, OEM. So in the backend, it will try to run multiple agents, get data from multiple places. It will combine all the responses into one for you, right? So it has given me the performance summary for leadership, and it has given the supervisor's performance, first of all, and the key insights on the top. It is giving me the supporting chart. Similarly, the manager's performance, supporting chart, location performance, its supporting chart for retention rate and conversion rate. Again, the OEM makes by retention rate, conversion rate, and what was the top and the bottom performers, right? And it also has added certain business recommendations for the leadership, right? So investigate these factors, and Florida and certain supervisors required targeted intervention to boost both retention and conversion, right? So it has mentioned which particular model makes me or the location needs more interventions, right? So these sort of analysis I have created and run through MCP, wherein multiple agents are being run in the backend and a final combined response is shared with you. Now you can easily share this response, save this response, share it with your leadership, right? So this is how it is shifting from a conversational BI to more of a context-aware decision intelligence, right? So Ask Me can help business users not just get these answers, but reach decisions faster with these sort of analysis and the final recommendations, right? So I will quickly touch upon the upcoming features as well. So this is all I had from a product demo perspective, but there are certain awesome features that are upcoming. So let me just show you that very quickly. Yeah. So one of the features that we are bringing very soon is unified insights via data pool, right? So this slide basically shows that how Ask Me MCP is gonna support unified insights through a data pool. In a data pool, user will be able to bring all the structured and unstructured files such as Excel, PDF, Word, TXT, all the business documents into one shared data pool. This means all the data is grouped into one place instead of getting scattered, right? So think of it as a folder. Now, once all of this data is available together, user can just ask questions across both the structured and unstructured data. They do not need to switch anything between the data sets, and Ask Me will generate the combined insights to give more complete insights, visuals, and explanations. Right. So once you have created this, your data pool will be created, and you'll be able to see data pool like this, where I have a PDF file and my structured schema like this. And then you can run combined analysis, such as I've asked compare my goals that were there in my document, which is the PDF file, with the actual sales by region, which is there in my schema, that is the structured data set. So Ask Me will automatically understand, okay, I have to compare these two different data sets. I have the data pool selected here, and it gives me the comparison that which regions exceed the goal and which region do not, right? It is given me a chart also to support that. Now, the another feature that we are bringing very soon is how you can take or actions and even connect to the external tools, right? So with Ask Me MCP, you as a user will be securely connecting to the different approved toolkits such as Gmail, Outlook, Slack, Jira, Google Drive, and Teams using the OAuth or the API keys, right? So once you have connected and authorized these toolkits, you can Ask Me can suggest or perform approved actions from the same chat flow itself. So user does not just understand what happened, they can also act on it, right? So as we can see, we have these variety of toolkits that will be available, such as Gmail, Slack, Jira, Canva, and many more such like these. And once we have connected and enabled these, all these can be run within the Ask Me MCP. So you'll be able to connect to all of these tools. You can say, okay, send an email to Outlook, XYZ person, marking these things. So it will be able to easily call the Outlook tool, and your email can directly be triggered, right? You don't even have to go and open Outlook, right? Or even Slack or anything. You can just directly authorize and trigger the actions directly from here. You can even fetch data from various sources, and you can also send outputs from here itself. So you don't have to switch the windows also, right? So these are the upcoming features. So that's all we had to cover from the webinar perspective today. So just to close off, I would say that what you saw today is not just another way to ask questions from data. It's a new way that you can work with analytics, right? So with Ask Me MCP, What you can do is business users can move from all the isolated questions to the complete investigations along with decisions, right? So you can understand what is the KPI movement, understand anomalies, understand root causes, generate the visuals, recommendations, all through just one conversational experience and also just in one response, right? So this reduces a lot of dependency on manual follow-up analysis, and it will help teams like you to move from data to decisions, right? So that's the real promise of Ask Me MCP, that you not just better answers, but better decision making, right? So that's all we had to cover. If you have any questions, we can have a look at it now, or you can just put it in the chat and we'll send the answers to you. Also, if you're interested in understanding the product in detail and see how it can help your use case, just ping us in the chat and we can schedule a one-on-one demo, right? And with that, I would like to thank everyone. Thank you for joining and have a good day ahead.